altogether unique, a jazz, classical, and film composer of renown. He's worked with numerous artists, from Jack Kerouac to Leonard Bernstein, and a pioneer in the appreciation of world music. David Amram, at the age of 95, has released a new album of jazz interpretations of the songs of Woody Guthrie, a man he knew. The album is titled Old Souls.
Way down yonder in the Indian Nation, riding my pony on the reservation, in those Oklahoma hills where I was born. Way down yonder in the Indian Nation, a cowboy's life is my occupation, in those Oklahoma hills where I was born.
Why did you choose the title Old Souls?
We recorded it at a wonderful studio called Old Souls Recording, I guess it's called. It's a house in Catskill, New York, that the owner got. He has a lot of analog equipment, which you can't even get anymore, so that when you're recording, you feel like you're in someone's house or home. And when they're recording it, it just gets that beautiful warm sound that analog used to get. And there's some magical way. So in the recording of the band, we did all of it live, all at the same time in the same room. And they came out really sounding like music. And Bill Oakes, no longer here, and myself, and I am here at 95, I guess had that in common, that we were doing what we do from a standpoint of feelings rather than what is supposed to be hip this week and then to be discarded by getting something else that's hip the following week.
Way down yonder in the Indian Nation, cowboy's life is my occupation, in the Oklahoma hills where I was born. Now my dreams turn back a page to the land of the great Osage, Chickasaw, Choctaw, Cherokee, Greek and Seminole, where the black oil rolls and flows and the snow-white cotton blows, in the Oklahoma hills where I was born.
Tell me how you met Woody.
1956, a friend of mine named Ahmed Bashir. Ahmed Bashir was a good friend of Sonny Rollins, whom I knew when I played with Charles Mingus's band in 1955, and Charlie Parker, where he was still alive, and a lot of other people. A wonderful guy. And he said, you want to go meet Woody tomorrow? And I said, you mean Woody Herman? He said, no, Woody Guthrie. So I said, sure. So I went over, and I went to this place, and I saw this amazing guy who talked kind of with an old Cuban accent like that. But everything that he said was so interesting, and he spoke for hours about his trips as a merchant seaman and all the countries he'd been to and the different kinds of music he'd heard, and it's about sporting events and politics. He didn't say anything about himself or his own songs or his own music, but he was just such an amazing person that after a 2-hour summary of everything that he knew about any topic that came into his mind, he'd say, what do you think about that, fellas? And then we would say something, and then he'd go over for another hour. He was an incredible raconteur, and he was interested in so many different things. He's such a wonderful guy. I never forgot just the pleasure of meeting him. He was starting to go to the hospital, then he got really ill, and I never went to see him after that.
It's a mighty hard road my poor hands have hold. My poor feet have traveled a hot, dusty road. And out of your dust bowl, westward we roll.
Years later, Nora Guthrie, his daughter, whom I met when she was a kid, carrying her little ballet bag, and we were walking down the street in Greenwich Village, and Rambler Jack Elliott, her boat with, introduced me to her and her mother, Marjorie. And I got to know them very well. And many, many years later, just a few months ago, after knowing her since she was a kid, she said, I love the way you do Pastor Suppletti. Can you make a recording? I'd like to have it for the archive. I said, sure. She said, well, I want you to get that wonderful quintet you have and record it with them. I said, sure. So I got this group, and they played the heck out of it.
We come with the dust, and we go with the wind.
Then she said, I really like the way you sing. I said, what? Are you kidding? She said, no, man, you have your own sound. I want you to come back and do some more. So brought the group back, and we did those that I had figured out a way of keeping every single word you could hear. So we started out using a jazz on, I should say, Latin context, but still doing it somehow. It fit with what Woody was going to do. And then two of them I just made up on the spot. So it was just as all the great things of our life have been, just like meeting Woody, a fluke or a stroke of good luck. And then trying, when I was asked to do something or given the opportunity, was able to do it because of what I already know how to do. I'm still learning how to do better.
Holland Tunnel, 3 Mile Tube, skipping through Hun River dunes.
Are you also one of the old souls on this album?
Well, I guess I am by a fluke of luck, because that's the name of the record. I wouldn't have dared to call myself that, but I guess I certainly am, only because things that really move me, all traditional Irish and Jewish and Middle Eastern and Latin songs that music from the South, all of those things really get to me. And when I hear certain ways of people playing the cello or the violin in a classical sense, where they really got that old-time spirit and sound and personality, it really touches my heart. And when I hear a modern person or a young person doing something that's terrific, I can feel that. And I think that feeling everybody has, but just like your appendix, it becomes inanimate. You go through your whole life without having to check it out, but it's still there.
Peach trees, they are loaded. Limbs are bending down. I pick 'em all day for $1, boys, as I go rambling around. Sometimes the fruit gets rotten and falls upon the ground.
What is the legacy that Woody Guthrie left behind?
He told all of us, whether or not we even played or listened to a note of music, that you've got to keep it for real, and you have to have respect for every person that crosses your path, and that every person is worthwhile.
There's a hungry mouth for every peach as I go rambling around. There's a hungry mouth for every peach as I go rambling around. Sometimes the fruit gets rotten and falls upon the ground. As I go rambling, boys, as I go rambling around. Wish that I could marry. Wish that I could settle down. But I can't save a penny, boys, as I go rambling around.
For more information about the David Amram album Old Souls, featuring songs by Woody Guthrie and Phil Oakes, visit woodyguthrie.org.
My mother prayed I would be a man of some renown. But I'm just a refugee as I go rambling around, boys. As I go rambling, as I go rambling, as I go